Welcome back to GMK, folks. Well, as we've been talking about, the chance for some snow exists here, and this is kind of a transition month for me as a chaser. Every now and again, you get the opportunity to go out and chase severe weather, and then, of course, we start to get into the winter weather as well. And clearly, I'm going to be busy for the next several days. But oddly enough, October tends to be relatively quiet for me in both ends of the spectrum. But every now and again, kind of similar to this year, we get a little busy stretch coming up here. And as you'll see in the package coming up here, 2013 provided a little bit of everything for me.
October storm chasing. It may sound a bit weird, but it's not terribly uncommon, at least not as uncommon as you'd think. The 10th month of the year sometimes opens the door to what we consider to be the second season, a window of time about half as long as the spring chasing season, but one that does not happen every year. I've chased on average once or twice every other October throughout my career, most of that pretty low-end stuff. But on occasion, and particularly in 2013, October can serve up a heavy hitter or two.
On the ground.
On October 4th of that year, I took a trip from Illinois to Nebraska where I intercepted this tornado near the town of Macy, north of Omaha. This tornado never fully condensed, but as it went through town, I watched it tear up trees and homes, tossing debris into the air around the invisible funnel. It continued northeast, crossing my highway less than a quarter mile to my south, downing several trees as it moved by.
I'm not going to try to outrace it.
I pursued this tornado and its numerous touchdowns as it eventually made its way across the river into Iowa, where I never saw it again. This tornado was rated EF2 and traveled over 25 miles across the two states. I watched it from its initial touchdown until the storm moved into Iowa, where it continued on for another 30 minutes. That was my first ever October tornado. And at the end of that same month on Halloween night, I intercepted a nighttime tornado in southern Illinois that hit a small town near where I lived, damaging some homes and trees, but fortunately most of that pretty minor.
I just roofed it in June.
October tends to shift the focus away from severe storms to winter weather, and I've involved myself in a couple pretty good October snowstorms over the years, but kind of like storm chasing, it's been more missed than hit. October, all in all, for me, has typically been pretty quiet, which in all honesty is probably a good thing, because Mother Nature sure makes up for it in November on both sides of the storm spectrum.